Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. Welcome to today's video, Computer Posture Mistakes and Fixes. This is episode 18. All right, today I want to talk about the three worst injuries that I had from sitting at a computer. Number one, internal shoulder rotation from using a mouse and keyboard. And this didn't just stop at the shoulders. It also compressed my chest, compressed the front of my neck, compressed the center of my, what's that, the sternum, where that abdomen meets the chest muscles. All of those came incredibly tight and incredibly compressed from sitting at a computer due to the mouse and the keyboard usage. Number two, spinal disc degeneration from slouching forward. And number three, knee and ankle dysfunction from not resting my feet flat on the floor. It ended up causing so much ankle dysfunction that I've had 3 ankle surgeries since then, and things are going well with my feet now, but I've made a lot of changes. And we'll talk about one of those changes today. So here's the 3 worst injuries that I've gotten from sitting at a computer. Now here's the 3 things that I changed, the 3 variables that I changed to fix those 3 biggest injuries. Elbow height slightly above desk level, and we'll talk about that in a second, and we'll look at a picture. Eye level with the top of my monitor screen, and feet flat on the floor or a footrest. So if we put these two side by side, on the left we've got our injuries, my 3 worst injuries. On the right I've got my 3 main variables that I follow to correct these injuries. So number 1, they all correlate. Number 1 goes with number 1 and so forth. Internal shoulder rotation from using a mouse and keyboard. The way to fix that internal shoulder rotation is to make sure our elbow height is slightly above the desk level, because if it's below the desk level, then we need to contract our biceps in order to lift our hands onto the keyboard and mouse. And contracting that bicep all day long is what causes a lot of internal shoulder rotation and pain in those shoulder tendons, because those bicep muscles are connected to the shoulder by 2 tendons. And that's often where we feel the pain. Very rarely do we feel the pain in our bicep that's been contracted all day long. It's always in those tendons that are connected to the shoulder bone. Number 2, spinal disc degeneration from slouching forward. One way to combat that is to make sure your eye level is at the top of the monitor screen. Now that doesn't necessarily move your body or move your head to meet the top of that monitor screen. We want to move the monitor screen to meet our eye level naturally. So we'll look at a picture of that in a second. Knee and ankle dysfunction from not resting my feet flat on the floor. The easiest way to avoid that is to keep your feet flat on the floor or a footrest. And let's look at a picture to describe this. So let's see, what was number 1? The elbows. So look here on the picture on the left how his elbows are below the desk. In order to lift his hands up onto the keyboard and mouse like that, he's got to contract his bicep all day long. And what that does is that leads to terrible internal shoulder rotation, as well as tendonitis in the shoulder, sometimes in the elbow, and look at him slouching right there, the chest compression and that sternum area where the abdomen meets the chest. A lot of that gets very, very tight, and it's very difficult to fix if we're sitting at a computer for 8 hours a day for long periods of time. So if we want to look over at the picture on the right, conversely, he's got his elbow slightly above the desk level. And what that does is that relaxes his bicep a lot more. It puts a little bit more strain on the tricep, but that's okay because it's not excessive like the strain on the bicep over here on the left. Okay, number 2, what was that? That was eye level is what we're looking at. Slouching forward because his eye level is not at the top of the monitor screen. It's like the middle of the monitor screen here. So you can look, on the picture on the right, he raises his monitor up higher, and it naturally allows him to sit up straighter than he is over there. You can see him sitting up straighter. His eye level is at the top of the monitor screen, and everything is good to go in that situation. Over here on the picture on the left, look at the feet, which was the number 3 injury that I've had, worst injury that I've had. It looks like his feet are flat on the floor, but they're really not, because you can see his feet are underneath his upper leg. So he's contracting his hamstrings here in order to pull his feet underneath past his knee, behind his knee, I should say, from a side angle view. So contracting that hamstring all day long was kind of like the bicep. contracting that hamstring to pull those feet under is unnecessary. And at the same time, we don't realize we're doing it, and it's causing terrible compression and overactivation of the hamstring, which leads to overuse and tension. And a lot of dysfunction in the knee and in the ankle. Take a look at the picture on the right over here. His hamstring is more relaxed. I know it's kind of hard to tell from this picture, but his hamstring is definitely more relaxed when he doesn't pull that foot underneath his upper leg or his body. So that lower leg is slightly out a little bit in front of the knee. And in this case, these two go hand in hand. He had to raise his chair a little bit in order to get his elbow above the desk level. In that case, it took his feet off the floor. So that's when you want to use a footrest. You know, sometimes people need a footrest, sometimes they don't. I usually don't, just because I'm 6'3", but he's got correct usage of a footrest here. So that's it for today's video, Computer Posture Mistakes and Fixes, episode 18. I want to appreciate you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're taking a big step forward in improving the quality of your life, and that's definitely something to be proud of. Sign up for free email updates. That's the best way to keep up with all my content if you want. It's zero cost. Sittingposture.com/newsletter. I send out one email a week. That's all. I don't spam. I don't sell email addresses or anything like that. Just one email a week on Fridays. And in that email, I include a link to the article that I wrote for my website that week, as well as 2 links to the YouTube videos that I posted to my channel for that week. And of course, you can always like and subscribe if you want another zero cost way to support me. The more people that see my videos, the more ability I have to create more content. So thanks again, guys. Sittingposture.com/newsletter if you want to keep up with me. This is Todd from sittingposture.com. Have a great day. Take care.